We begin tonight with General Motors and the UAW saying they've got a tentative agreement.
These agreements ensure the iconic Big Three can still lead the world in quality and innovation.
Now UAW President Shawn Fain has to sell it to the rank and file.
General Motors is the last member of the Detroit Three to strike a tentative agreement. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. All three of those tentative agreements now have to be approved by the union membership. If that happens, it would end a targeted strike that's dragged on for 46 days. It has cost the automakers billions in the process. Will Jones, live at Solidarity House. Will, we got workers putting down all the picket signs now?
Yeah, Devin and Kimberly, the workers are going to be putting down their picket signs and returning to work while this goes through the ratification process. And I can tell you, after talking with workers today, they're happy that this strike could be over. They're ready to return to work.
I picked up my phone and just so happened to open up my Facebook and seen it. It was like, hey, y'all, look, we got an agreement.
UAW member Shamir Marshall began cleaning up their striking area out front of GM's plant in Van Buren Township after learning the union and the automaker have reached a tentative agreement this morning.
We're glad. We've been waiting on this. We're the last people to, get an agreement.
They had to reach an agreement quickly because GM couldn't be the only company that was shut down. And when the union struck at the Tennessee plant that supplies many of the other GM plants, GM was effectively going to be shut down.
The agreement mirrors the Ford and Stellantis deals. After first demanding a more than 40% wage increase, the UAW settled for 25% offered by Ford, which will amount to even more with reinstated cost of living adjustments.
A union was able to achieve a record agreement. It was able to raise wages by really historic proportions and make up for a lot of ground that the workers had lost over the past decade and a half.
Those on the picket lines have been surviving on $500 a week, but Marshall says it's been worth it.
Hopefully we got a good agreement, and everybody get back to work.
Even with the weather cooling off, UAW members tell me their resolve didn't. They relied on each other to keep at it, to get where they're at now. And Devin, they say they have no regrets.
Well, we'll talk about the next steps here now.
So it goes to the UAW GM National Council. They will review it, and then they'll send it over to their members for ratification.
All right, so not exactly dancing in the end zone yet. All right, Will, ahead here at 5:30, expert insight into what this last tentative agreement means for the industry and why there's a thought that this is a big moment for the UAW heading into the future.